Hey y'all, and welcome back. In my last video, I mentioned that we did a ton of research on upgrading our 1,000 Trails Pass that came with our camper when we bought it from Lazy Days. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the research we did before we upgraded our 1,000 Trails Pass, as well as some price breakdowns that just made it make more sense to us. Most of the information that is in this video I found from the Lazy Days website, Facebook groups, outside blogs, and from a licensed representative. As a note, I am not an official Lazy Days rep. This is just the research I did personally before upgrading my pass. If you'd like to speak to an official rep, check out the information in the description for Irma. That's who helped me out, and she answered all of my questions and made it super simple for me to understand what was best for me. And just make sure to let her know that Ashley at anxietyinacamper sent you to her. Alright, now let's start with the different memberships. There are 4 memberships in total currently. Those are the Camp Pass, the Elite Basics, the Elite Connections, and the Adventure Pass. Each membership differs in price, with the Camp Pass being the cheapest at $670 a year, to the Adventure Pass, which is a one-time fee of $17,500 plus a $670 annual due. The Elite and Adventure Passes have a one-time fee which can be financed or paid up front, and then the $670 dues that are paid annually to keep your membership benefits. The biggest difference between the passes are your days in the campgrounds, your booking window, and the zones. For the Camp Pass, you're allowed 14 days in the parks before you have to be out of the system for 7 days. And no, you cannot pay the campground you're currently at for that 7-day window, as you have to be out of 1,000 Trails properties completely for those 7 days. The other 3 passes have 21 days in with no days out, so you can go park to park every 21 days. For the Camp Pass, you can move park to park if you're staying for less than 4 days in one of the parks. However, if you stay that 5th day, then you have to stay out for 7 days. It doesn't matter that you only did 5 days and not 14. If you do 5, 6, 7, 10, then you have to stay out for 7 days. That was a huge reason that we decided to upgrade from the Camp Pass to Elite Connections. Because as full-timers, we knew we didn't really want to have to be out of the system for 7 days. Your booking window determines how far out you can actually book your campsite. Camp Pass has the lowest window at 60 days out, and then the Elite Basics has 120 days, and then both the Elite Connections and Adventure Pass have a 180-day window. The further out you can book your campsites, the better, especially if you're trying to travel around weekends, holidays, or during snowbird season and you want to be in Florida. Now to the zones. Camp Passes are only allowed to be used in one zone, and there are 5 zones in total. We originally chose the southeastern zone before we upgraded. The other 3 passes allow you to camp in all zones. There are no zone restrictions for the Elite Passes and the Adventure Pass. However, you can add more zones to the Camp Pass at $90 per zone. The next thing I want to talk about are 2 of the perks that come with the Elite Passes and the Adventure Pass that the Camp Pass does not have. These things are the cabin rentals and the family passes. The top 3 passes give you discounted nightly rates, as well as a complimentary week per year for 5 years in a standard cabin. Additionally, you can get a family courtesy pass for $175 per year, which allows your family to camp with you 21 nights per year, and they can use your pass when you are not actively using it. This was a big one for us because we plan to spend our winters in Utah, and they don't have a lot of 1,000 Trails properties out in Utah yet. But while we aren't camping in 1,000 Trails parks, then my in-laws can use our pass to camp wherever they want because they do have a 5th wheel. So while we can't use the pass, at least they can use it. The last thing I want to talk about before we get to the price breakdown is the Trails Collection. The Trails Collection is an optional add-on to any of the 4 passes I've mentioned for an extra $370 per year. This gets you an additional 100+ campgrounds and RV resorts with a 60-day booking window. Since it's optional, we needed to determine if we'd actually use it. Most of the membership parks are in the Northeast and along the West Coast. But Florida, for example, only has 3 membership parks in the entire state. We plan to frequent Florida a lot on the shoulder season because that is where my in-laws live. Plus, I keep begging to go to a beach, and Florida has tons of beaches. There are 80-something parks that we would gain with the Trails collection in just Florida alone. So we did decide to add that on. Adventure passes do get a great perk of the Trails collection Plus. The Trails collection Plus is $670 per year, but you do get a 90-day booking window plus some extra little perks. Alright, now for the price breakdown. The way we priced it out to make sense for us was to divide the one-time fee plus the annual dues over 1 year. Then, assuming that the one-time fee is paid off in that first year, any consecutive years would only have to pay the annual dues and then plus the Trails collection if that is added on. For reference, we paid $900 a month at the KOA in Utah during the off-season, $1,250 a month for the same KOA during the summer, and $2,200 per month for our 2-bed, 2-bath apartment. That being said, we found a year of the Elite Connections to be quite manageable, considering we'd be lucky to find a monthly rate at a nice campground with great amenities for less than $1,000 a month while traveling across the United States. Then, after the first year, you're only paying those dues plus if you add on the Trails collection. So that ends up being about $86 a month. You can't buy groceries for a week at that price, let alone a place to live. So that was the research that we had done. And a big thanks to Irma for helping us clarify a lot of things and answer any questions that we had. We ended up picking what was best for us, which might not be best for everyone. But hopefully, if you were curious about 1,000 Trails, then this helped clarify the difference between the passes. And if you have more questions, feel free to comment below or reach out to Irma. Her number is down in the description. If you want to follow along and see where we go next or what 1,000 Trails park we go to next, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until then, bye. She says subscribe.